Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're talking about something that nobody wants to admit.
But we're going to be honest with you. It's about what native English speakers actually think when you speak English.
And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but hear me out. It's not about judging you as a person. It's about what your English communicates to a listener.
So let's start with the obvious one. When someone speaks English very slowly and carefully, word by word, what do native speakers think?
Honestly, our first thought is usually this person is not very confident in English, or they're translating from their native language as they speak.
It doesn't mean they're not intelligent. It just means their English level is probably beginner or early intermediate.
And that's fine, but it affects how people perceive you in professional or educational situations.
For example, if you're in a job interview and you're speaking super slowly, the interviewer might think you can't handle the pace of the job.
Even if you're perfectly capable of doing the work.
Right, so speed matters, but it's not about being fast. It's about being confident and smooth.
When someone speaks fluently, without too many hesitations, native speakers automatically assume they're educated and intelligent.
Even if they make grammar mistakes.
Exactly. If you speak fluently with mistakes, people forgive the mistakes. But if you speak slowly and carefully, people notice every single mistake.
So, fluency is more important than perfect grammar?
In terms of perception, yes, because fluency signals confidence, and confidence makes people trust you more.
Let's talk about hesitations. Words like like. What do native speakers think?
These are filler words. Everyone uses them, including native speakers. But if you use them too much, it signals nervousness or lack of preparation.
Like, if you say like in every sentence, native speakers think you're either very young or not very educated.
It's unfair, but it's true. The perception is real.
And the same with and A few here and there is fine, but if you're saying between every word, people think you don't know what you're going to say next.
So, filler words destroy credibility?
Not completely, but they damage it. One doesn't hurt. 20 ums in a 2-minute speech, that's a problem.
What about accent? When someone has a very thick accent, what do native speakers think?
This is tricky because it's very regional, but generally, people don't judge you for having an accent. Everyone has an accent.
But they might judge you if you're hard to understand. If people have to strain to understand you, that's when it becomes a problem.
So it's not about having an accent, it's about clarity and intelligibility.
Right. Some people have thick accents but are completely clear and easy to understand, and some people have lighter accents but mumble or speak unclearly.
The clarity matters more than the accent thickness.
What about grammar mistakes? How much do native speakers really care?
This is where it gets interesting. Native speakers care way less about grammar than English teachers do.
If you make a grammar mistake but you're fluent and confident, most people won't even notice.
But if you make the same grammar mistake while speaking slowly and hesitantly, people notice it and judge it.
So it's the combination of factors? Slow speech plus mistakes equals bad impression.
Exactly. It's not one thing, it's the total package. If you're confident and fluent, people forgive almost everything.
What about vocabulary? If someone uses very simple words, what do native speakers think?
If you use simple words but you speak fluently and clearly, people think you're communicating effectively.
But if you use very limited vocabulary and can't express yourself, people think you're not very intelligent.
Even though intelligence and vocabulary aren't the same thing.
Right, but that's the perception. If you can't express yourself with more than basic words, people assume you're not educated.
Let me ask about pronunciation. If someone mispronounces words, how much does that matter?
Again, it depends on context. If you mispronounce a few words here and there, nobody cares.
But if you mispronounce common words, people notice, and they might judge you.
For example, if you say comfortable wrong or February or pronunciation, people will definitely notice.
Because those are words that fluent speakers say correctly automatically.
And mispronouncing them signals that you haven't heard the word spoken aloud enough times.
What about confidence? Is that actually something people perceive?
Absolutely. Confidence is huge. Someone who speaks with confidence is automatically perceived as more intelligent and more credible.
Even if they're making mistakes, the confidence carries them.
But someone who speaks perfectly correct English but seems uncertain, people doubt them.
So it's not just about English quality, it's about how you deliver it.
Exactly. English quality is only part of it. Delivery is just as important.
Let's talk about specific situations. Job interview. What are native speakers listening for?
In a job interview, the interviewer is listening for, can this person communicate clearly? Are they intelligent? Can they think on their feet?
They're not listening for perfect grammar. They're listening for fluency, clarity, and confidence.
If you speak with hesitation and uncertainty, they might think you can't handle the pressure of the job.
Even if the job isn't about speaking English.
Right, but communication is a universal skill. If you seem uncertain in English, people assume you might be uncertain in your job too.
What about presentations, speaking in front of a group?
This is where everything matters even more. Presentations require clear pronunciation, fluent delivery, organized thoughts, and confidence.
If you're presenting and you're stumbling over words, people stop listening to your content.
They're too busy noticing your stuttering and hesitations.
So the message gets lost.
Completely. You could have brilliant ideas, but if you can't deliver them fluently, people don't hear the ideas.
They hear the bad English.
What about casual conversation? Are people less judgmental there?
A bit, yeah. In casual conversation, people are more forgiving because everyone makes mistakes casually.
But even in casual conversation, if you speak with confidence and fluently, people like you more.
People are naturally drawn to confident communicators.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it fair that people judge you based on English quality?
No, it's not fair, but it's real, and we should acknowledge it instead of pretending it doesn't happen.
People do judge, and understanding that judgment can actually help you communicate better.
How does understanding the judgment help?
Because once you know what people are listening for, you can work on those things.
Instead of just memorizing grammar rules, you can focus on fluency, confidence, and clear pronunciation.
Those things matter way more than perfect grammar.
So what are the top things native speakers listen for when you're speaking English?
Number 1 is fluency. Can you speak smoothly without too many hesitations?
Number 2 is clarity. Can people understand you? Is your pronunciation clear?
Number 3 is confidence. Do you sound like you know what you're talking about?
Number 4 is vocabulary. Can you express yourself effectively?
And number 5 is grammar, but honestly, this is last on the list.
Most native speakers care about grammar the least.
That's surprising. English teachers care about grammar so much.
I know, but native speakers, we care about whether we can understand you and whether you sound confident.
Grammar mistakes don't really bother us unless they seriously confuse meaning.
So, what's the number one mistake non-native speakers make?
Speaking too slowly and hesitantly, it destroys credibility.
Even if your grammar is perfect, if you're speaking slowly and with lots of pauses, you sound uncertain.
And uncertain sounds less intelligent, even if you are intelligent.
How can someone fix this? How do you become more fluent?
Practice speaking, not studying, speaking.
You need to practice actually speaking English, not just reading about it.
The more you speak, the more automatic it becomes. And the more automatic it is, the more confident you sound.
What about practicing alone? Can you do that?
Yes, talk to yourself. Practice explaining things out loud. Practice having conversations out loud.
Most learners study silently, but you need to hear yourself speaking.
When you speak out loud, you notice hesitations, filler words, and pronunciation mistakes.
And you can correct them in real time.
How long does it take to become fluent?
Fluency isn't something that happens suddenly. It's a gradual process.
But people often notice improvement within weeks if you're practicing speaking regularly.
And within months, your fluency can be noticeably better.
The key is consistent speaking practice, not just studying.
Let me ask about accents again. If someone really wants to remove their accent, can they?
Most adult language learners never completely remove their accent, and that's okay.
Accents are fine. The goal isn't to sound like a native speaker, it's to be clear and intelligible.
But if someone really wants to improve their accent, they need to practice listening and mimicking native speakers.
It's possible, but it takes focused practice.
Is it worth it? Should someone try to remove their accent?
I think it depends on your goals. If you're happy with your accent, keep it.
But if you feel like people don't understand you, then working on pronunciation clarity is worth it.
The goal should always be to be understood, not to sound native.
So, what would you say to someone who's worried about their English?
I'd say, understand that people will judge based on fluency, clarity, and confidence. That's real.
But don't be discouraged. You can improve all three of those things with practice.
And the improvement is actually noticeable fairly quickly.
Within a few months of focused speaking practice, your English will be noticeably better.
And people will respond to you differently.
How will they respond differently?
With more respect, more attention, more interest.
People are naturally drawn to confident, fluent communicators.
So by improving your English fluency, you're not just improving your English, you're improving how people perceive you.
And that affects every conversation you have.
That's powerful.
It really is. Your English quality directly impacts how people see you.
So it's worth investing time in it.
Definitely. And the good news is that speaking practice is free. You can do it anywhere, anytime.
You don't need a teacher, you don't need an app, you just need to speak.
Talk to yourself. Explain things out loud. Have conversations. Record yourself and listen back.
These are all free ways to improve your speaking fluency.
And they work.
So the key takeaway is, don't worry about perfect grammar. Focus on fluency, clarity, and confidence.
And do that by practicing speaking, not just studying.
Exactly. Speak more, study less. That's the real secret.
Native speakers will respect you more, understand you better, and respond to you better.
And that confidence will carry into every area of your life.
So, thank you for listening to this episode. I hope it helps you understand what native speakers are actually thinking.
And I hope it motivates you to practice speaking more.
If this was helpful, please like and subscribe for more honest takes on English learning.
Because the stuff nobody talks about is usually the most important.
And we want to give you the real perspective from native speakers.
Thank you for learning with us. We'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care and go practice speaking.